likes to this videos? If we make 5,000 likes to this video, we will upload more patriotic news. Thank you. What John McCain did right after he murdered GOP's skinny repeal vote. A lot of U.S. citizens are still in shock after Senator John McCain voted against the skinny Obamacare repeal. Recently, there were strange details of Senator's actions prior to and after the voting exposed. According to the Washington Post, McCain had a phone call with Senate Minority Leader Charles Schumer, informing him that he was going to vote no before he went to the floor. As the press questioned about his decision, McCain simply said wait for the show. After the voting, McCain was spotted hugging California Democrat Dianne Feinstein. Even USA Today reporter Eliza Collins thought the whole situation was weird. Former Fox News host Bill O'Reilly immediately slammed McCain for the move that he made. "I've known Sen. McCain for decades and respect him. But on a bill that would have diminished the failure of Obamacare, he let his country down," O'Reilly said. Though Senator Lisa Murkowski, RAC, and Susan Collins, RME, also each voted no, McCain's was the final and deciding vote that brought it to 51-49. While the amendment would have repealed some of Obamacare's most burdensome regulations, it offered no replacement to actually reform our healthcare system and deliver affordable, quality healthcare to our citizens, McCain later said in a statement. "I've stated time and time again that one of the major failures of Obamacare was that it was rammed through Congress by Democrats on a strict party line basis without a single Republican vote. We should not make the mistakes of the past. The so-called skinny repeal would have removed the individual mandate, forcing people to buy health insurance, and the medical device tax. We would be happy to hear your thoughts and predictions." Shocking POTUS fired Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. President Donald Trump just fired Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. President's pick for that position is the recent head of DHS John Kelly. CNBC wrote. President Donald Trump on Friday tweeted that John Kelly would take over as White House Chief of Staff, replacing Reince Priebus. Priebus, 45, became a target of Trump's ire shortly into his term as White House Chief of Staff. Trump has consistently applied pressure on Priebus and reportedly given him various deadlines to get a tumultuous White House in order. Priebus came under even more scrutiny recently when Trump brought on financier Anthony Scaramucci as communications director. Former Press Secretary Sean Spicer, one of Priebus' allies in the White House, left after Scaramucci's hiring. Scaramucci created a White House spectacle Thursday following his Wednesday night tweet accusing someone of leaking a financial disclosure document that is publicly available. Scaramucci tagged Priebus in the tweet, but he later denied that he was identifying Priebus as the source. He told CNN on Thursday that if Reince wants to explain he's not a leaker, do that. Scaramucci compared himself and Priebus to the biblical brothers Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel. On Thursday, Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said, "I don't know if Trump has an opinion on what they should do between the two of them." Previously on Friday, the Gateway pundit wrote that Donald Trump was planning on changing his chief of staff Reince Priebus with a member of the military. Donald Trump prefers a general to assume the top administration post. The Hill wrote, "The president," The Times reported on Thursday, "has so far focused on Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly as a potential replacement, though advisors believe that would be a bad move." Trump has reportedly said that he no longer has faith in Priebus, a former Republican National Committee chairman who was tapped for chief of staff shortly after Trump was elected. Priebus has lost key allies in the White House over the past week, most notably former Press Secretary Sean Spicer, who resigned immediately after Trump appointed Anthony Scaramucci as his new communications director. Scaramucci has carried out a public feud with Priebus since entering the White House. That feud accelerated on Thursday, when the New Yorker's Ryan Leah published an interview with Scaramucci, in which the communications director delivered a profanity-laced tirade against Priebus and accused him of leaking information to the press. The ex-campaign manager of Trump campaign and the host of InfoWars, Roger Stone, first shared that President Trump has General John Kelly, acting DHS chief, on his mind for a replacement of Priebus? We would be happy to hear your thoughts and predictions. After GOP failed to repeal Obamacare, Gowdy asked the one question everyone was afraid to ask. Most of the people who chose to vote Republican politicians in the last several elections expect the representatives to destroy Obamacare. Mainly, because they promised to do so. Even after having a majority in all of the governmental branches, the Republicans are not able to repeal it. From Daily Caller, our problem is for 7 years telling people what we're against and what we're opposed to, and then we've had 7 months to govern, and the best we can come up with is a skinny plan on 24 hours notice? Gowdy said during a Friday morning Fox News interview. We've had 7 years to figure it out, and the best we can come up with is something called skinny, he continued to mock. Republicans had better get it together fast. Young cons have the video content. We would be happy to hear your thoughts and predictions. Horror Lieutenant Colonel Schaffer has exposed the evil Brotherhood and Debbie Schultz. The Democratic Party is soon to be completely destroyed. There is an evidence of how the Muslim Brotherhood and Debbie colluded together. The video content is a thread which may reveal the corruption in the Democratic Party. Schaffer: now the FBI has rolled in, and let me give you the big takeaway here. It looks like a foreign intelligence service may be the recipient of all this. Something called the Muslim Brotherhood. Advertisement: Ingraham, whoa. The Muslim Brotherhood and Debbie? They are really going to say it's a conspiracy theory now. Schaffer: it's a conspiracy now, but that's apparently where all of this has been going. That's why the FBI has now been investigating. Share this right now. It's time to hold the media's feet to the flames. They need to start covering this. We have heard all the crap about Russia for forever. Now, it's time to look into the crimes of the Democrats. Source: Real Clear Politics. We would be happy to hear your thoughts and predictions. People savaged McCain on Twitter after he blocked Obamacare repeal. The Gateway pundit has written about the Senate. McCain obstructed the last effort the GOP made to revoke Obamacare during a midnight vote. McCain delayed Donald Trump's hugest vow from his presidential campaign. The U.S. citizens are mad at McCain for voting against the repealing of Obamacare, and they took on Twitter to bash on him. We would be happy to hear your thoughts and predictions. Breaking: Donald Trump Jr. gets devastating news from Senate Intel Committee. Trump's administration received more bad news this week when it was discovered that Donald Trump Jr. met with a Russian lawyer during the 2016 presidential race to allegedly discuss sabotaging then Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton. To make things even worse, the Senate Intelligence Committee will possibly look into the matter. The Gateway pundit reported that a source within the committee said that the panel will, at some point, probably ask Trump Jr. to testify, with no details about the hearing's date yet. As the source said, Trump Jr. will also receive a request for information from the Senate Intel Committee. Lest we forget, Associated of Hillary Clinton's had a meeting with Ukrainian diplomats during the presidential election last year, presumably in hopes of acquiring incriminating intel on Trump. And somehow the Senate panel has overlooked this suspicious situation only to inquire into the exact same thing when the future of the Trump administration is in question. What do you think of this? Share your opinion.